In 1963, a famous orator, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, who was granted the Professional Medal of Freedom and for whom was granted a federal U.S. holiday in remembrance of his work in the civil rights movement, spoke out at the National Mall with a famous speech, "I have a dream." My name is Nicholas Cooper-Lewter, also known as Dr. Nick, the soul whisperer. But here we are, over 50 years later, and although some things have changed, others have remained as oppressive as ever. Although today it's not uncommon to see children of all colors to be playing together, there's still far too much and too many children growing up physically and sexually abused, whether they're in poverty or wealth, in developing countries or right here in the United States. Although today it's not uncommon for all ethnicities to intermarry, there are still far too many abusive marriages with domestic abuse as high as ever. Although the United States has far more freedom and justice than it did 50 years ago, there's still far too many injustices around the world, of human trafficking, of countries and civil wars and unrest around the world. I was there in person when Martin Luther King Jr. made his famous speech on the National Mall. As a 15-year-old, I dreamed his dream along with him, and now I have a new dream. But I still remain, as an abortion survivor, a survivor of the times my birth mama told me my grandmother tried to smother me as an infant, and of the many times my adoptive mama tortured me. I still remain a survivor of horrendous sexual abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse, being raped when I was 5, and being an it in my adoptive family, being fed bread and water only for months while I watched the rest of my family eat a full meal. I grew up wretched from all the abuse from certain family members, being stripped and beaten, starved, raped, and abused by those with alcoholism. Wretched from all of the abuse from some teachers, being told I would never amount to anything, though I was on the honor roll, being told to never run for a student office, and being beaten up on sports teams I was in. Wretched from all the abuse at the hands of police, being beaten up at the age of 19 when I needed to put more gas in my car after dark, breaking the sundown law. Wretched from being denied opportunities of careers I wanted to pursue. But I will be wretched no more. I will be wretched no more by choice. I will not allow my wretched past to create in me a wretched future. I would like to share with you how I came to choose this. When my birth mama was dying, she called for me to come to her side. At that time, she told me some things I will never forget. And what motivates me to lead this movement today? She told me, "Son, I gave you away hoping that my wretchedness and my shame would not infect you. But I have watched painfully how you have spent your lifetime trying to be accepted and seeking appreciation to prove your right to exist. You have been a champion who has never felt like a champion. Mama understands. Mama understands what it means to believe that no matter how hard you try, that you will never be good enough. You have mastered how to live a crucified life, striving but never arriving. Mama wants you to try something different, to try resurrection. Promise me, get off my cross and live your life resurrected." It was the last message my birth mama gifted me with. So come with me on the movement. This movement to be wretched no more by choice. This movement to resurrect the champions within all of us. This movement to become the swans we were meant to be, not the ugly ducklings that we were taught to believe we are. In this movement, we create our own futures, the futures that we want to have. In this movement, we can make heavens out of the hells we have lived. In this movement, here is how we become champions. We must make championship choices and embrace the best choices in any moment to be and become all we were intended to be. We must speak with championship chatter and insist on having uplifting and constructive conversations, even with ourselves. We must maintain championship character and represent well all who have made sacrifices, named and unnamed, so that we can be here today. We must create our championship culture and build heavens even where hells might exist. We must have championship caring, concern, and compassion. We need to lead with love even when others choose not to. Love is the creative force that builds heavens. So I share with all of you today, you are a swan. You are a champion, and you can create your own future regardless of your past. Every person who has ever overcome the odds is a champion. The champion of champions is within you. Whether you are an athlete wanting to be the best, you can claim the championship. Whether you have come from an oppressed childhood, you really are a swan. Even if you feel your potential has been crucified, you can live a resurrected life. Refuse to carry the cross of crucifixion. Refuse to pass on the wretchedness. Refuse to believe that you are an ugly duckling. Instead, live a resurrected life. Pass on the love, starting with yourself. Claim the champion that you are. And above all, choose to be wretched no more. If for any reason you would like some help becoming all that you were intended to be, please contact me. Attend my webinars, sign up for my courses, or get my books and audios. I also do executive and life coaching, individual and team coaching, and performance sports coaching. I will help you find your soul solution.